Mr. Beast and the Haunted Prison. Friends, if you run YouTube, so you must know Mr. Beast, who do different challenges in YouTube. But for our new YouTube video in 2019, Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, thought of doing something different this time. Instead of a deserted forest or island, Mr. Beast decided that this time he will go with his friends to the most haunted place in the world, and there he will spend 24 hours with his team. Date, Chattel, Corner. Chris, Josh, and Jake were ready for this challenge, but were also scared. He packed ghost hunting equipment like EMF meter, infrared meter, night vision camera, all batteries, flashlight, and walkie-talkies. And let's go to Ohio State Penitentiary, a prison in America which has been closed for years, and which people consider to be one of the most haunted places in the world. He understood as soon as he entered the jail. Why do people call this place so scary? Spread over 2 lakh square feet, this big prison of 6 floors looked very scary with 100 prison cells. The guards there told him that 300 prisoners had died in a fire in that prison in 1930. And many prisoners died while fighting among themselves in that jail. And many say they killed themselves. That the souls of many of those prisoners still wander in that prison. In fact, the guard told that he himself had felt invisible powers in the jail many times. Rather, a prison where prisoners were kept alone. One of his fellow guards also lost his life there. He warned them all that no one should be separated from each other. And don't make any kind of outright joke. And he said that there is also a hospital and a church inside that jail, where they should not go even by mistake. Mr. Beast and his team were a little nervous after hearing all this. But still, he gathered courage and went inside with his camera. That was his motive. To see that there really are spirits out there, or not, and if there are spirits. So to complete the challenge of spending 24 hours at that place, when he went inside and turned on his paranormal device, the lights started flashing, and a voice came. Everyone got a little scared, and after seeing a part of the prison, they reached the main hall, and made our base camp there. Because he was quite big, and it was also near the entrance. Then Mr. Beast said that they should go back separately and look at the place again. It was decided that Cheadle would explore Mr. Beast and Josh's hospital, and Chris Jake Corner and Tarek solid confinement, the same prison where prisoners were kept in solitary confinement. Mr. Beast, Cheadle, and Josh walked up the hospital's old iron stairs and down its corridors, recording video with their MF meter. Then he saw a table and a cutout of a poster in a room there, which was from a popular film. Seeing this, both of them started joking about those movies. Then suddenly the EMF was in Chattel's hand. Its light started blinking, and at that very moment, Mr. Beast felt as if a loud siren was ringing from somewhere. This thing was quite strange, because there was no active siren there. What's more, Chattel and Josh did not even hear anything. When Mr. Beast pointed his EMF towards that siren, he started losing water more rapidly. They started going towards the source of that siren, and the EMF meter started blinking rapidly. And suddenly, coming near an open room, the EMF meter started flickering non-stop. As soon as Mr. Beast tried to go inside the room, Mr. Beast's head started getting heavy, and he started feeling dizzy. So Mr. Beast came out. But Mr. Beast remembered that the sound of the siren had come from a little further behind. He started moving towards her, and all 3 of them realized that after roaming for so long, he is still moving in a circle, which was very unusual, because he remembered that he is taking a different path again and again. While Tarek, Chris Jake, and Corner Solate were inside the confinement block. This was the place where prisoners were left to suffer alone without water and food. They reached a haunted hotspot with a night vision infrared camera, where he had heard from the guard the story of those spirits scratching one and killing one. Suddenly, Chris's head started feeling heavy, and he started having trouble breathing. Jake, who was looking at the scary things in that room, suddenly he started shouting loudly. Jake was seeing a strange black shadow there, who was coming towards him. When the other 2 turned towards Jake after hearing his screams, they saw the shadow coming towards them. But then suddenly he disappeared somewhere in the air. When they discussed among themselves about that incident, all 3 became very nervous, and then Jake realized that someone standing next to him was breathing, but there was no one there. And then suddenly that black shadow stood right in front of them. And as soon as they saw him, all three of them ran away screaming and scaring his team on walkie-talkies. MrBeast started tell. The MrBeast thought that now he would just look at that church and will leave that place. Because now MrBeast was a little worried about his friends too. That church used to be an execution hall, meaning a place where people were killed by hanging. It is said that many of them were hanged. Their spirits still wander in the area of that church. MrBeast acting as priest there. After making Chadal sit on the seat, thanking him for coming there, he started talking about the place being haunted. Then, suddenly his walkie started ringing again. But this time Chris was asking her location on the walkie-talkie. MrBeast joked and revealed his location. But then a strange disturbance came on the walkie-talkie, and then he felt as if a woman was saying something on that walkie-talkie. When all three of them listened carefully, a woman's voice came from the walkie-talkie saying, "It's raining outside." And this voice did not seem like that of a normal woman to all three of them. Rather, it looked very scary. In fact, it seemed to Chadal as if the woman was laughing in a strange way. And then suddenly, that sound stopped coming. All three of them were not able to understand what just happened to them. So he left from there and went back towards the main hall to his base camp. But then they notice that it has started raining heavily outside. And sounds of lightning are also being heard. Chadal and Josh were very scared, but MrBeast was enjoying watching all this. And MrBeast had something else going on in his mind. What was going on in MrBeast's mind, and what happened to MrBeast's friends to whom the dark shadow appeared? Subscribe to our channel to watch next part, coming soon.